Okay, Chelsea have beaten Middlesbrough away from home in the first FA Cup quarter-final this weekend, 2-0. Obviously, the build-up to the game with what's going on off the field with Chelsea and the petition to the FA to have the game played behind closed doors, which was later withdrawn, as I think overshadowed the build-up to this game. The game itself was really entertaining. Apart from the 2 goals, it could have and should have gone to extra time, in my opinion. There was not a lot between the two sides. Lukaku's goal, there was a lot of counter-attacks in this game, but Lukaku's goal was the best bit of play from Lukaku in the game. He kept his positioning, made a good run into the box, and was in the right place for a tap-in. Ziyech's goal, I think, was the best bit of play in the whole match. A brilliant finish. You could argue the goalkeeper could have done a little bit better, but pace and power and a bit of bend behind the shot. He's picked his target and is driven through the ball perfectly. And I think that was the best bit of play in the game. Apart from that, both sides were counter-attacking very effectively. The second half was better than the first, I felt. Really entertaining, very open, a good advert for the sport. The atmosphere in the Riverside, the Borough fans were loud and proud throughout the entire game. They were really boisterous, good atmosphere, and Middlesbrough were good value for money. There's a reason why they've beaten 2 other Premier League sides in their FA Cup run. And you could argue Chelsea are that step above in class over Man United and Tottenham. You can definitely argue that. Their league position would tell you that as well. I will say with this about the Chelsea performance, it wasn't their best. They did look vulnerable defensively. Thiago Silva was their best player in my opinion on a defensive standpoint. His positioning was brilliant. He shut down attacks very, very well. Mendy in goal, again, another brilliant game. I think he's the better of the 2 keepers that Chelsea have over Kepa. He is a very underrated goalkeeper. On the Middlesbrough side, you can see why they're in a good run of form in the Championship. You can see why they're in the playoff places. And you can see why they're unbeaten in 9 coming into this game. They really went about it the right way. They didn't lose heart after going 1 or 2-0 down. They kept playing their game plan. They played with pace and energy. And as I say, Chelsea, there's got to be a lot of distractions off the field for these Chelsea players. The uncertainty surrounding the club. The uncertainty post May 31st, I think, it's got to be weighing on the players' minds. And Thomas Tuchel and some of the senior players have been facing really unnecessarily awkward questions about the ownership situation and the club's finances, which they have no control over. Absolutely no control over. In terms of public opinion, a lot of neutrals would have wanted Middlesbrough to win today. I think the result is the correct result. I think the better team did win on the day. It was a very close game. I think, if on another day Middlesbrough could have scored a goal or 2 and it could have gone to extra time. On another day, Lukaku doesn't get that first goal and break the deadlock. It was a very even game on an attacking standpoint. Yes, Chelsea dominated the possession, but did look vulnerable on the counter-attack. And I think other teams, if Chelsea do make the final, they have to get through a semi-final. And whoever they get in that semi-final is going to definitely attack down Chelsea's left. Sarr did not look comfortable. He had a nightmare today against the Middlesbrough right-sided players. And if it wasn't for Thiago Silva, more opportunities could have been created. Thiago Silva's positioning, while he's lost a yard of pace, he really controls that defence. And when you've got Mendy in goal, they were Chelsea's 2 best players for the whole 90 minutes. Middlesbrough, the whole team really put an effort in. I think they can be very proud of their efforts in this season's FA Cup. And Chelsea, the Ziyech goal was their best bit of play. Very quick counter-attack, quick transition play. Same with the Lukaku goal as well, to a certain extent. A little bit more build-up, but again, a quick-paced attack, good transition play. So if you are an opposition team, whoever they face in the semi-final, and should Chelsea get to the final, you're trying to do some pre-match scouting, you've got to be careful on the transition with Chelsea. They can turn defence to attack very, very quickly. They've got some very able ball players who can spew passes around all over the place. Pulisic was a handful this evening. But then you got players like Timo Werner who take too long on the ball, and he had a few opportunities in the second half to make it 3-0 and was too slow on the ball. Just take that quick snapshot. He wants to set himself all the time. He's a player who clearly is lacking a bit of confidence still. Every time he doesn't look quite confident. with a team that's winning. So that is a bit of a concern. Lukaku, apart from his goal, was largely not involved in the play. He doesn't come deep enough, and when he doesn't, when Chelsea are without the ball, he doesn't press. There's lack of movement, and it's clearly known that he doesn't want to be there. He clearly wants to go back to Serie A. When his celebration for the goal, there was no emotion, there was no passion in it. So the Lukaku question going forward, while he's been very good in this season's FA Cup, his league form is really, really poor. And again, apart from his goal, he didn't give Chelsea much because he's too far up the field and doesn't come deep enough. The link-up play isn't there. He made very few effective runs. He was very well dealt with by the Middlesbrough defence. And you can see that big gap between the midfield and Lukaku. He needs to come a little bit deeper and get involved in the play earlier in the phase of play. And that is a problem for Chelsea. But overall, the best team won. A very good first half. They took their opportunities in the first half. The second half was very open. The energy levels from Middlesbrough didn't drop. The fans were brilliant. The atmosphere was brilliant. It was a sold-out Riverside. 900 Chelsea fans managed to, obviously, because they had already pre-bought tickets, or season ticket holders were allowed to be in attendance with the special operations licence. And of course, the semi-final at Wembley. It'll be interesting to see A, who they play, and B, how many fans are actually at Wembley for that semi-final, with the limits on Chelsea fans being able to go to games at the moment. But Chelsea did deserve the win. They had the better of the possession and they took their chances. But on another night, it could have gone to extra time and penalties, because I think Middlesbrough did play. They raised their game, and Chelsea weren't quite on their game for the whole 90 minutes. But you can understand with the distractions off the field. So yeah, there's three more quarterfinals to be played. Southampton are playing Man City in the early kickoff tomorrow, which is televised as well, which I'll be watching. And I'm rooting for Southampton, because I think Southampton have a very good opportunity this year to go to the final. But there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please place your thoughts below, and I will have some more videos for you very, very soon.